up, everybody? We're back with 95X Carriage, our community animal rescue effort brought to you by the Law Office of William Mattar. I am Dixon, joined as always by Jenny. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. Winding down summer. Very thankful that
Yeah.
the fair is over. Uh,
Oh, that was a very hectic week. It was very traffic jammed. I felt like everywhere you went.
I think they need to figure out the AMP and the fair and not let them coincide because Friday for Noah Khan was a nightmare.
I heard this. I also heard that was it Foreigner who was just there and people were trying to park in the orange lot, but there was no space. So it sounds like they need to work that out for next year because that craziness just shouldn't happen.
Agreed, agreed. So we're back with Murray this week. I love this dog.
Isn't he beautiful? Like, what a smile on this dog. And everybody else will see these pictures, but his smile, oh my gosh. That's one of the best dog smiles I feel like I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I love that it seems like his head is just a tiny bit too big for his body, which is always the most endearing part of a dog to me.
Yeah, like they look like a bobblehead.
A little bit.
It's adorable. But yeah, Murray's been hanging out at B&R Bunkhouse for, I think they said like around 9, 10 months now. So he is a long-term resident who volunteers literally rave about him. They think that he is one of the best, most endearing, loving dogs that they get to spend time with, that they enjoy taking out. One of their very dedicated volunteers recently just took him out for an overnight at her house. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the ability to like permanently foster. But so she decided, let's just do like a jailbreak. You're going to come, we're going to do a full day out. And she said, great in the car, great at the house, awesome on a leash, like doesn't pull, just kind of does his own thing. Super snuggle bug, loves to like play and romp. His downfall is that he prefers to be an only pet, so he does not want to share his space. However, like when you're out on a walk, she said that they were obviously like passing other dogs and animals and whatnot, and he doesn't like try to run after them. He just ignores them. He just doesn't want to be the friend. So I was like, this is kind of like this is a really unique situation where that's a golden dog. So if you don't have a dog and you've been considering getting a dog, Murray's the one because that's all you could ask for. He doesn't need you to get another dog to like have social time. You're not gonna have to pay for doggy daycare. He just wants to kind of like jam out and be loyal to you and receive all of the affection. You can still go for your walks. You don't have to like worry about all of that. It's just he just wants you to himself. Like, what's wrong with that?
Nothing at all. But he is high energy. He is young. So
Hmm.
plan on having some activities. He loves riding in the car, which is always a plus, right?
Yeah, I'll say I have a dog who likes being in the car, but she's very vocal in the car. So it makes her a very long road trip. And
Yeah,
with a dog who just like likes being in the car and is cool with going for a ride, that's clutch. You can bring them everywhere. And there's a lot of drive-throughs around this area that love to hand out like doggy treats and like, pup cones and whatnot. Like Murray could get totally spoiled, not just by your family, which is what I would hope would happen to whomever adopts him, but by like the locals in the community. You can make him a star.
absolutely. Well, the B&R Bunkhouse information is on the screen. So give them a call, get an application in. If Murray's gone by the time you get there, at least your application will be in and they'll know what you're looking for. And perhaps they could reach out to you because, again, like we're at like critical mass where
Yeah.
all the shelters are full. It's difficult finding space for these dogs. I know that some of them are being doubled up in kennels in
Mhm.
some of the places around town, which is not optimal. So thankfully, um, we do have all of these organizations that are out there and helping, but we really don't have any more room. So it is really time that if you're looking for a pet, now is the optimal time. A, because you're in need, but B, it doesn't seem like there'll ever be a larger selection than what's available right now.
Right. No, absolutely. And I've seen a lot of people that have been like reaching out and like tagging the mayor of Syracuse and tagging SPD and just saying like, what are we supposed to do? Like we're calling when we find stray dogs and we're being told that there's no space and they can't help us. And that it really does put a lot of pressure on our community. Like we're faced with this moral struggle, if you will, of do I just let the dog go because I can't bring them inside with my pets? especially if I'm unsure and I'm not a dog trainer, I don't know how to read body language, etc. So I don't know if it's safe to do so. Um, but then you're kind of with that, like your moral compass is kind of all over the place with the dogs are at risk of starving, of being hit by a car, of getting picked up by maybe not so nice humans. And that's a lot of pressure. And so I personally I hate when I see a stray running because I have to like follow through and make the phone calls and whatnot. And it's heartbreaking. And if there's no space inside these shelters, the dog control can't do their job, etc. Hey, Mr. Wiggles. Uh, but so it really does like applies a lot of pressure to the community. So I think that there has to be some resolve here in a way to kind of come together and work on a solution for this issue. But if you're in the position to help, certainly reach out to B&R Bunkhouse, reach out to groups like Recyclable. They are always in need of more fosters. They're always trying to pull dogs. I saw that they're currently trying to pull 5 dogs out of the shelter. One of them just got parvo. And if you think about a shelter setting, all those dogs are really close together. And that puts them at risk of getting sick because a lot of these dogs haven't been vetted yet. But these rescues that are pulling them are getting them vetted. So I understand when people are just like, well, it's really expensive. In the long run, adopting a dog like through a rescue is much less expensive than if you were to go to a breeder, if you will. So make sure you're checking out your local rescues, hit up B&R Bunkhouse, contact other groups that you can foster or volunteer with, learn more about ways that you can contribute to making this issue a little bit better. And hopefully somebody listening will go and adopt Murray because that smile is perfect and it will warm your heart for all your days to come.
Absolutely. Murray's a keeper for sure. Check him out, B&R Bunkhouse. All the information is on the screen. Jenny, I can't thank you enough for all that you do. We appreciate it so much. And we'll be back next week with another adoptable pet for our 95X listeners.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Thanks for watching, everybody. This is 95X Cares. It's our community animal rescue effort brought to you by the Law Office of William Mattar. We'll see you next week.